We didn't have any way to keep people from getting one kill and then finding a place to hide and then just spending the next 10 minutes in a little corner where they couldn't be found.
HLGing it.
Yeah, exactly. We should get to those guys later.
Since the beginning, Halo games have a history of leaving hidden secrets in their campaign and multiplayer maps that aren't obtainable through traditional means. To unlock these secrets, players have come up with plenty of creative ways to use the game's mechanics to get to areas that originally wouldn't seem possible. One of the most famous examples being the Scarab gun in Halo 2, which required players to get a Banshee to follow them all the way down a long tunnel and hijack it at just the right time. By adding in a variety of Easter eggs, the game's developers have always encouraged exploring the wide campaign sandboxes and multiplayer maps. This plays a huge part in why there is something truly satisfying about grenade jumping to a location you couldn't otherwise access and exploring. Secrets, tricks, and glitches would give birth to a whole community of players that were interested in finding new ways to break through barriers and get to new heights. As players continued to find new tricks that could be used in multiplayer, the competitive ladder became less about how accurate you were with your gun, and more about how you moved around the map and what tricks you knew. Don't get me wrong, if you were really good with the battle rifle, you'd probably still climb the ranks, but button combos and trick jumps were becoming an essential part of matchmaking. If you hadn't spent the time to master these tactics, you had a serious disadvantage when matched up against other players that did. Whether it was because Bungie didn't want to remove these bugs, or if they weren't able to because of the way the game was developed, many of these tricks would end up becoming an essential part of the competitive scene, and were even permitted at esports events. Button combos like BXR and Double Shot were considered fair play, and most professionals were able to perform these tricks on command. Other tricks such as super bouncing or rocket canceling were a bit too powerful, and allowed players to get to areas on the map that others were unable to access. Before these were banned from competitive play, it was common for someone to get to the very top of Ascension and fire down on you with a sniper rifle unchallenged. This was especially problematic in team-based game modes with time limits, or in one-on-ones. All you had to do was quickly gain the lead, glitch out of the map, and hide until the time expired.
Dude, let's just leave. We're never gonna find them.
No, if we leave, we lose all our freaking experience.
Dude. I know where they are.
Where?
Capture cards and YouTube were just beginning to gain popularity in the Halo 2 days, and interest in multiplayer tricks would become increasingly popular over this time, until the release of Halo 3 in 2007. It was around this time that a channel by the name of Hidden Masters would upload a video of their whole team hiding in a Team Slayer match. The channel became massively popular within just a few weeks, and matchmaking became littered with players jumping into hard-to-find locations. The term Hidden League Gaming, or HLG, would be coined, and the Hidden Masters recommended that anyone interested in following in their footsteps would just need to change their gamertag to include HLG. The brand exploded, and many other HLG teams would begin uploading their own hiding videos to YouTube. The appeal for these videos was split into a few different types of audiences. There were the players that were interested in learning the different places to hide so that they could do it themselves, players that wanted to learn the different spots so that others couldn't hide against them at all, and those that found it hilarious that players would have to wait several minutes for the game to end, only to lose the match.
10 seconds remaining.
Don't throw grenades, it causes negatives.
Game over.
You see, the players hiding during these videos would often send messages to their opponents, usually in a provocative manner. They knew that it would add to the entertainment value if their enemies were frustrated, and it would certainly make a more explosive post-game lobby. As you might expect, this style of play didn't attract the most respectful characters, and would often lead to extremely toxic interactions.
Yeah, well, it's because you have no skill. You got one kill and you tried to hide for the entire game? That's called a pussy move, and people who are trash do that. You're scab, you Olympic. I'm gonna come to your house and your mother and shove my in your throat. You understand me, you piece of
God, I want that so bad. Yeah!
Hiding in matchmaking was already a heated topic of debate among Halo fans. Some players thought it was fair play, whereas others considered it cheating.
What do you think about HLG and matchmaking? Is it cheating? Hidden League Gaming? No. Because if those if it's possible, that's on the dev's fault.
It didn't help that Bungie avoided talking about the subject and never really gave a clear response as to whether hiding was legitimate or not. But they did mention it briefly in their community podcast.
Head-to-head in Halo 2 was a cesspool. It was terrible because we didn't have any way to keep people from getting one kill and then finding a place to hide and then just spending the next 10 minutes in a little corner where they couldn't be found.
HLGing it.
Foeman123, a Bungie forum ninja, did also mention HLG in one of his forum posts. Back in 2008, he wrote, "Let's face it, honor is pointless, especially in an internet game. The only thing that matters is the win. If you can win by gaining the lead and then hiding, you are still winning, and you're not cheating." That being said, Bungie did spend the time to find and patch common hiding spots in competitive multiplayer maps. Bungie also had a knack for adding barriers that didn't solve the problem, and in some cases made it much worse.
Kill him with the rockets, teabag his eye sockets, ride with the lead like you're in the HLG.
Over the years, there were some really impressive videos pulled off by some of the most elite HLG teams. As it became more popular, there was more and more pressure for players to find more unique and creative spots. The teams that pulled off the more impressive hides in matchmaking were the ones that continued to gain popularity within the community. Towards the end of Halo 3, Halo's fanbase would begin to shrink, and with it, the HLG community. Almost all of the YouTube channels that were created prior to 2010 would become inactive not too long after. Other channels associated with HLG would end up rebranding their channels, like Hidden Xperia. But there is one team that managed to pull off the most impressive hide that I've ever witnessed.
HLG, where are you? Return to the battlefield, my friend!
On the battlefield!
Where are you, my friend?
Where are you going?
Okay.
Wow.
Is that even legal?
I am not sure. Let's go to another person.
They're just camping right there. Where are you, HLG?
The team goes by the name of HiddenReach, and they're still creating content to this day. The team decided that they wanted to pull off a hide during an esports Halo Championship Series match on the Chinese server. So they created a new account and team name. Their team would go by the name Seng, and the gamer tags would be Chitang, Hidang, and IChalG. Because they were competing on the Chinese server, they wanted their names to look Chinese. But if you read between the lines, you can quickly see that these gamer tags and team names aren't what they seem.
They're really cheating. They have gone into hiding. Yeah.
And they're literally Seng.
This may not have been the most appropriate decision, but since when was HLG ever known for being the good guys? To them, it was always about doing it for the lulz. The team would end up being disqualified for unlawful exploitation of game mechanics, and even HiddenReach admitted that they had expected that this would be the case.
We didn't think it would work, but we gave it a shot, and then it came off. Some people really defended us, and even if we did win, and as soon as they went to give us prize money and saw our names and addresses, we'd have been, I think, instantly disqualified. That was kind of what we expected to happen, so we weren't annoyed about it or anything. At the end of the day, it's nothing really bad. You're just wasting 10 minutes of someone's time.
HLG was, and still is, an extremely controversial topic within the Halo community. I'm curious what you think. Should players be allowed to hide in their games when they have the lead? Are they just hiding little girls? Please let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe, as the more subscribers that I get, the more I know to keep making content like this in the future. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.